Hey, what's happening, guys? Here it is, the package that I told you was coming today. So I'm going to get into it and open this up. Now give me just a second here. I want to make sure there's no... Okay, there is a note here. Hold on one second. I'll be right back. Alright, well, here we have it. The new Owon multimeter. This is the B35T. And I want to say a very hearty thank you to Ryan, who doesn't really want me to mention his last name or where he's from, who bought this for me from my Amazon wish list. Awesome. Thank you so much. So in the box we get a nice little Owon pouch. And in the pouch we have the app for the meter. It has an app because it is a Bluetooth data logging multimeter. Some specifications, a quick start guide. Okay. Alright, I will just hold this here so you guys can look at it for a second. You can pause the video if you want. I won't go over all the specifications right now. So we have our leads, which are shrouded, very nice. One of these adapter doohickeys, and some slip over alligator clips. Excellent. The leads are very nice and soft. The probes are kind of flexible. I really don't like that. And here is the meter itself. So let me clear off some room and we'll give her a good look over. Alright, so here is the meter. Very nice meter. Standard size, about the same size as like a Fluke 87. No separate outer condom. This soft blue is outer molded on here. The meter feels very, very solid. Uses 2 AA batteries. And you can see we have voltage AC and DC, millivolts AC, DC, continuity, capacitance, diode check, resistance, frequency and duty cycle, one of them transistor amplification doohickeys, temperature, microamps, milliamps, and amps. Turn it on to the voltage mode. There's nothing telling us where to put our probes, no probe detect, but that's okay. I know where the probes go. So let's set up a little test and put it through its paces, right? Alright, the meters are set up in parallel, and I'm running them off my benchtop power supply. And right now you can see we're getting right around 106 millivolts. So I'm going to switch this over to the voltage scale. We're going to take it up to about 1 volt. Hard to get an exact 1 volt here, but we'll get as close as we can. 1029, 1037, 1036. And you can see we are looking very good so far. Let's take it up to about 3.3 volts. looking good. Take her up to around 5. And you can see we lost a digit off the mass tech. But the Owon is a 6,000 counts meter, so we're still good there. Alrighty. Now let's take it up to about 9 volts. You can see the mass tech lost its digit there. So they're looking pretty consistent so far, pretty good. Let's take it up to, say, 20 volts. Everything's still looking really nice. And then we'll take it as high as this power supply will go. It should be about 31 volts. Alright, so that's pretty good for voltage range, and that's about all I'm going to do for the parallel readings. Alright, how about some component checks? So we'll put it in resistance mode to start out with. And I've got a 1K resistor here. Let's clip her in. 99.1, that's good. Not the fastest in the world, but not too slow. These are 460 ohm. Let's give them a shot. Wow, that was really fast. Alright, how about diode mode? Here's a 1N 4007. Very nice, showing us our diode drop about a ½ volt. How about a red LED? Will it light it and will it show us the drop or the forward voltage? Okay, so I don't know how well you can see that. It definitely lights the LED and shows us our voltage drop. Alright, this one is, I believe, a green one. Let's see what we can get out of it. Yep, it's lighting it, but not showing us the drop. That's alright. Alright, how about capacitance? This is a 40 picofarad. I'm sorry, 40 nanofarad. Hey, that's pretty good, pretty quick. No bar graph on the capacitance meter. The jaws on these alligator plugs are just not that tight. Alright, let's try an electrolytic capacitor. Not that one. We grab another one. Make sure it's discharged. This is a 470 microfarad. $469. Right on the money. Alright, the continuity tester. Should I do the Dave test? I can hear it clicking. I can also tell you that in almost 30 years, never have I had to have instantaneous continuity. Next up, milliamps. So I have this on the milliamps range. I've got 12 volts with a maximum of 550 milliamps off the power supply, powering this 12 volt bulb. You can see we're drawing 427.5. Alright. Let's switch it over to the 10 amp range. And we'll max it out. There's 15 volts. And we're still coming in at under a half an amp. So pretty good there. Alright, I've got the cable, one of the cables here. Checking it for resistance. Floating between 2 and 4/10 of an ohm. It's not too bad, but it's not great either. And the thermocouple temperature test, you can see we can press the select button to go between Celsius and Fahrenheit. I gotta tell you, this does not inspire a lot of confidence. Yeah, I heated that thing up like crazy. Let me try another thermocouple. Maybe that one was just bad, right? You never know. Just making sure I have everything plugged in correctly. If I hold that there, does it need to go over here? Ah, perhaps that was it. Well, there it is. I just had it plugged in the wrong place. It doesn't say anywhere on there, but your thermocouple needs to go into the milliamp jack. Alright, let's take some frequency measurements. So there's 500 hertz, 600, 700, 800, 900 kilohertz, 2K. Oh, 1.1. There we go. 2K, 3K, 4K, 5K, 6K, it's 100, 200, 300 kilohertz, 800 kilohertz, 1.1 megahertz, 2 megahertz, 3 megahertz, up to my maximum of 6 megahertz. Looks pretty good. Of course, I'm giving it a square wave, so it's showing 53%. Should be right on 50%. So looking good in the frequency range section. Okay, so a little bit of AC here. That's a square wave. Let's change that to a sine wave. There's a sine wave at 20 volts peak to peak at 60 hertz. Let's see if it can handle the frequency going up. No problem at all with that, so it reads the AC very well. Next we'll try some household AC. Alright, she says she's 1000 volt Cat 3 rated. So if it goes boom, I know something was wrong. Look at that, 123.3. And we are true RMS here, so that's very nice. Alright, now let's go over to one of the neatest features, the reason that I think this meter is so cool, and the reason that I put it on my wish list, and that is the Bluetooth function. So let me bring my phone in here, and I'm going to hook the meter back up to my benchtop power supply here. Give me just a second. Okay, so there's the benchtop power supply on, and relative mode. Now our Bluetooth is connected, or it's trying to connect anyway. Let's see here. Connected, and there you go. Crank this down here a little bit so you can see it better. So you can see it's following the meter very closely. It has a lot of neat functions, including this very nice data logging function here. And as I vary the voltage, you can see the graph changing. And the graph will adjust. You can see now we were at 30 volts. Now we're down here on the low, and this is 11 volts it's getting. Boing, sorry about that. Whoops. Like we lost our connection there for some reason. Not sure what's going on there. Let's see, where were we? Device. Huh. Alright, well, I just got this thing, so don't think it's bad because I can't get this. Let me figure this out. I'll be right back. We're back. The problem was my phone. Meter's functioning just fine. So you can see we have all of our buttons here, and it shows you what's going on with each one of them. And again, like I said, we have our graphing value, and we can save the data in a CSV file, and everything works out very well like that. Alright, so I guess the thing left to do is get inside this thing and see what kind of protection it's got, right? Right. Let's do it. Okay, so here it is. Let's taken the cover off of it, and we can have a look now at the input section. Now, first thing I'm going to tell you, is that I am not a snob like that Australian feller. I love to watch Dave just like everybody else, but man, that guy only likes the most expensive of equipment. Like, you see how these input jacks are split here? Well, he would bitch that they'll never last because he says they're going to get pressure put on them when you push the jacks in. Well, here's the thing. Oops, my screws probably just fell out. See these? Those go up into those holes there, and they keep those input jacks from getting stress put on them. So there's generally no problem with that. Now, that being said, input protection, we have two diodes right here. Then we've got our voltage divider resistance here. We've got a piece of shit glass fuse there, and a teeny tiny little ceramic fuse here that says Disman HD 500 20 amp. And the only other input protection is this one varistor mauve right here. So that being said, and from what I've played with this meter so far, I like it. I like it a lot. It is a very nice meter. I am not ripping it in any way, shape, or form, but I highly doubt its Cat 3 rating. Let's see if I give you a look at the if it'll focus. Are you gonna focus? There we go. There is a look at the processor. There's the off-the-shelf Bluetooth board. Got a little bit of flux residue around it. Now you'll notice there is a very nice channel. Very nice channel through there where this ridge fits in and makes sure that we have good input protect or blast protection. Battery contacts soldered to the board. There's a programming header, and this board is dated 10/2/216. It is a V1.5 board. So, all in all, this is an excellent meter with Bluetooth. Very happy with it. Once again, thank you to the kind gentleman who purchased that off my Amazon wish list. That was very kind of you, very unexpected, and I appreciate it very much. So if you guys enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up, comment, share. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm out. Peace.